Now, it's been revealed in a Washington Post fluff piece, it was a bit of a fluff piece on Rosie O'Donnell, that the former actor comic's obsession with Donald Trump is reaching new disturbing lows, Josh. We know, fled the country with a non-binary child once Donald Trump was elected, but she's also got that poor child now obsessively talking about Donald Trump. And when Rosie's therapist urged Rosie to detach from posting about President Trump for just 2 days, it was a request that came just before Thanksgiving. Well, she caved almost immediately, Josh. She was posting within hours. It really is an illness. I know we joke about TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and how it can overtake people's lives and make them completely mad. But with Rosie, it seems to have actually happened. I mean, is she working? Is she happy? Is she productive? Or is she just obsessively posting and talking and ruminating about Donald Trump?
Rita, I don't claim to have my thumb deeply on the scale of American pop culture when it comes to folks like Rosie O'Donnell, but I will say that I couldn't even tell you the last time that I heard Rosie O'Donnell's name in a non-Donald Trump context. I mean, what is this woman doing with her life these days? I mean, I actually have no idea. I mean, has she been cast in some like third-rate, stand-up bit on some second-rate channel? I literally couldn't tell you what Rosie O'Donnell is doing other than just kvetching and griping about Donald J. Trump. Trump and Rosie go back quite a long ways. I mean, if you think back, read all the way to the very first primary debate back in August 2015 to launch up that very chaotic primary cycle. That was when Megyn Kelly was actually moderating that back on Fox News, and she got into it with Donald Trump, and that was in the infamous exchange where Donald Trump made some jab about, but only Rosie O'Donnell, as far as the only women that he hates in his life there. So Rosie and the Don go back decades when it comes to the New York, upper class social scene there. She's probably not okay. I mean, look, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist there. Far be it from me to try to diagnose her from afar. But Donald Trump does have, he's gifted with many unique abilities. The art of the troll and the art of getting under your opponent's skin, which kind of ties into our whole mockery conversation, this is absolutely part of it. He absolutely has a way to just deeply, deeply make his opponents lose their everlasting mind and focus in monolithic fashion on their searing hatred of him. And it's a very unique political skill. I'm not frankly sure I can think of another American political figure I've ever seen have this particular skill, but Rosie O'Donnell is kind of exhibit A, that's for sure.
He does have that ability to make his political opponents just behave in a crazy fashion. If they would just remain normal and if they would just have a proportionate response, I think they would be a lot more successful in trying to defeat him. But yeah, you're right. Rosie already has her own psychiatrist who she's spoken about. And she told Jim Acosta during a recent chat that she was disgusted with the White House press corps for allowing Trump to verbally rape a reporter. Verbally, I mean, she is not well. Let's move on from Rosie and talk about the World Cup. 2026 is shaping up to be an incredible year for the US, 250th birthday, and you're hosting the Soccer World Cup, Josh, arguably the world's biggest sporting event. President Trump was in excellent spirits during the World Cup draw where he received a peace prize from FIFA. He danced to YMCA, and guess which country he drew?
But let's see.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is the ball? You can still change it if you want.
Does he know something that I don't know? Let's give it a shot, John.
Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I agree. Okay.
This is shocking.
United States of America.
And then there was the dancing. There's always dancing. But Josh, there are those in the soccer world very upset with FIFA for honouring the president. Among them is Australia's own Craig Foster, former player who called the event a shameful day for the beautiful game. What's your response to the critics?
Well, first of all, Rita, I'm pretty sure that the United States and Australia are actually going to be in the same group fight come
Yes.
2026. So
True.
I very much look forward to seeing my country and your country gear up in this most beautiful game. I'm a big sports fan in general. I love the World Cup. I look forward to it very much every 4 years. But I'm not the only one who loves sports. Donald Trump loves sports as well. Sport has been a big part of Donald Trump's public-facing persona for decades and decades and decades. He was always seen back in New York City at Knicks games, Yankees games, things like that. And now on the world stage right now, he's intimately involved when it comes to Live Golf, the rival to the PGA Tour and professional golf. They have a tournament actually at Trump Doral, his very iconic, well-known South Florida golf course, also my wedding venue. So whatever that's worth as well. He's very involved with golf. He's very involved with international motorsport. He's been seen when it comes to the Formula One, U.S. races, things like that as well. And he's also involved in trying to get the Washington, I still say Redskins, but the Washington Commanders, whatever the name is. He's trying to get the football team back from Maryland into Washington, D.C. They're trying to rebuild the old RFK Stadium in Eastern Washington, D.C. He's behind that. So he cares a lot about sports. He cares a lot about this there. They're allegedly doing a UFC fight, Rita, on the White House lawn next
White
year.
House.
Yeah, it's going to be in conjunction with the 250th anniversary. I mean, what an amazing spectacle. I'm frankly just an otherworldly spectacle that's going to be. But sport is a way, in theory, to try to transcend the bitter partisanship of politics. Unfortunately, so much of sport has been subsumed by politics. So so we kind of have to work. We have to bring that back to what it used to be. But I think Trump understands that sport is something that resonates with everyone on every single rung of the economic ladder. It's something that resonates with the working man, middle class, upper class, whatever you are. If you are a patriot, if you enjoy just watching successful people compete against successful people and strive to be the best there, you are going to have some sort of innate sympathy for sport. I think it's really kind of part of Donald Trump's, frankly, his working class blue collar appeal. And I again, as a big sports fan myself, I respect it very much.
And it's incredible that that loss in 2020 means he's president now, and he's not only got the Soccer World Cup, he's got the 250th birthday celebration, he's got the Olympics. He's going to be president for all those momentous events. Josh, before you go, War Secretary Pete Hegseth has been under intense pressure in the past week after a narco boat bringing large amounts of deadly drugs into America was neutralised along with the narco terrorists on board. There's been talk of war crimes, but Hegseth is not taking a backward step. He made these comments at the Reagan Presidential Library.
The War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing, and feckless nation building. We will instead put our nation's practical, concrete interests first. We will deter war. We will advance our interests. We will defend our people. Peace is our goal.
Peace through strength, that's the philosophy. There was a lot of conjecture, Josh, that his position was under threat. Is that how you see it? Is he going to have issues with this scandal, or was this another manufactured crisis by elements of the media?
Rita, this story makes me want to pull my hair out because how many times have we seen this same playbook? Right after Donald Trump nominated Pete Hegseth to be the then Secretary of Defense, now it's rebranded as Secretary of War, right after that, last November, over a year ago, if you recall, the media immediately sprang up into action trying to rerun the 2018 Brett Kavanaugh playbook. They were immediately besmirching Pete Hegseth. They said that he was a drunkard, that he was drunk while on set of Fox News. They said that he was a philanderer, an adulterer, and oh, by the way, he was actually a rapist to boot, in case that wasn't bad enough for you. So we had that. Thank goodness we got Joni Ernst of Iowa on board and all the senators on board, so he became the secretary. Okay, fast forward a few months. Then you had this Signalgate scandal, which came in March during this U.S. operation against the Houthis in Yemen. Was this done in the most kosher fashion imaginable? Maybe, maybe not, okay? Maybe there's a better app than Signal, some sort of super encrypted secret app to communicate. I don't know. Probably there is. Was this the end of the world? No, there was not. How do I know? Because nothing happened. Because not a single hair of a U.S. soldier, Marine, or sailor was harmed as a result of this. So that operation failed too. Now they're on to this. Now they're on to the latest information operation, political warfare act against Pete Hegseth. And for what? Literally for what? Because a Navy admiral acting under his chain of command decided that the drugs on this particular boat were about to be interdicted and intercepted by another vessel, and that cocaine and fentanyl could have been headed to the United States. If you accept the premise, as I do, Rita, that chemical warfare is indeed a form of de facto warfare upon the United States, then it absolutely stands to reason that targeted, tactical, preemptive, prophylactic action to secure the American people and the American homeland against such a threat is absolutely called for. So this scandal is ridiculous. I've been calling it out every day now for a week and a half. The Washington Post, by the way, which initially reported this, literally got their facts wrong. In fact, the New York Times of all outlets was actually the one that called out the Washington Post for doing that there. So they frankly owe Pete Hegseth something of an apology for accusing him of just callously ordering so-called war crimes there. But, I guess the last thing on this I'll say, Rita, is that, there's, as someone who follows the Middle East closely, I've become almost numb to the war crime allegation because of just the routine manner in which they attempt to accuse Netanyahu and the Israelis of committing war crimes there. So, I guess they're trying to bring the specific Middle East accusations, now try to take it into the American context. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because the Hegseth that we just saw in that video is a very confident, well-spoken Secretary of War. I happen to be a big fan of him, and I wish him nothing but the best. He's going to survive this relatively unscathed. This story will be dead by the next few days, I predict.
Josh Hammer, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rita.